What is the best superhero video game? Many people would say that it's Batman Arkham games, maybe, but there is another contender. However, it will never, ever get made. Let's take a look.
As previously mentioned, cooperative gameplay was also central to what the developers were trying to accomplish. Players would have been able to tackle missions with up to 4 players either locally via split screen, online, or any combination of the two. Thus, many of the mechanics revolved around teamwork between each hero, including a Gears of War-esque revival system. With their many varying abilities like Hulk's brute strength or Iron Man's flight, each Avenger brought something different to the table from a gameplay perspective. At the same time, they all had types of moves in common. Assists allowed players to stun enemies, leaving them open to other Avengers to perform one of a deadly series of finishing attacks. For example, Thor could summon a barrage of lightning to immobilize them before Captain America could step in and deliver the final blow with his shield.
This footage comes from Did You Know Gaming. If you want to check out the rest of that, please follow the link below in the description. But let's talk about it for a little bit. This came from the now defunct THQ, which had acquired the rights to make an Avengers game that they swore wasn't really the same as the Avengers movie, and you know, it did have some other elements, including Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Vision, Ant-Man, which you know they are now, but we're talking Avengers 2012 for the last gen version of games, and this looked really good because we've seen team-based games before. If you look at Ultimate Alliance. But you, as one person, can play one person followed by 3 AIs. With this, it would be up to 4 fully player-controlled characters working from a first-person shooter perspective, which seems really cool. And if you look at it, it reminds me very much of like Gears of War and other shooters in which you have a revival system and that you are able to work on combos with each other. Maybe someone is sending out buffs a la in certain MMOs. It seemed really great that what they were doing with it, and it's kind of a shame that we don't ever get to play it at all, ever.
Yeah. I mean, the graphics were fantastic, right?
Well, this is last gen, remind you.
Yeah. I mean, just the thunderclap itself, all the stuff that they had going on with Captain America's movements, that are, although they say it doesn't have to do with the movie, is very similar to the movements you see in the movie that Chris Evans does as Captain America. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. It would have been fun to play it. It's very similar in a way to Battlefront. Like you can be multiple players playing on one team to go after a mission.
I think it looks better than Battlefront.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of the graphics. I agree with you actually, and I just think that it seemed like it was going on that same path where you could all play from different places and be part of the team. And what they said, like you had to learn to work together as a team to throw that AI in there, that you had to figure that out. I thought it was brilliant.
Well, that's a core of you know, Avengers, of many superhero groups, as you have to work together. You know, it's a pretty common theme. The art seemed to be Ultimate Marvel based. And it featured places such as the Triskelion, the Helicarrier. It featured, it was mainly like a Skrull invasion arc, where we have, you know, they're able to look like anyone and take their powers, and we have that similar. Well, they hired Brian Michael Bendis. I always call him Michael Bendis. You have 2 names too, I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah.
And he had also written the original comic version. He's also written Jessica Jones. He's written many classic comics. So this looked like it was an epic game.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to tease you like that because we will never, ever, ever get to play it unless someone buys the corpse and revives it. But
right, that seems like a lot of trouble.
I don't think
and there were so many, like you could unlock characters and they were throwing in like Spider-Woman, they were throwing in all these different possibilities for characters that could show up because the Avengers seem to have a lot of auxiliary members, and so that anything could be in play with DLC content. So you know, you don't know what could have been available, and the designs are awesome. I'm a big fan of the more muscular, the bigger, the better. I love that stuff.
You play the big guy?
I do. I really do. I just connect to bigger dudes for whatever reason, and I enjoy playing those guys. It's fun to watch the movements. I was a big fan of Image when it first started as a comic chain because most of their guys were like muscles upon muscles, and Ripley, a bigger guy, Stormwatch, Savage Dragon, those things. So I was a big fan of that. So I remain a fan of that. And so when I saw it in this, I was like, man, this would have been a blast to play.
Yeah, so it looked really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever see a game like this again. I don't know. I mean, Marvel's a big deal now. Maybe they can pull some strings. You got that Disney connection.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, THQ is defunct and dead and gone, and we will never get to play it again. Audience, what do you think of the game? Would it be as wonderful as we think it is? Let us know below in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more.